Good evening, everybody. How's everybody been doing? Hope everybody has had a wonderful weekend and a wonderful Monday and Tuesday. Just figured I would get on here, man. I ain't been on here in quite a while. I've been so busy trying to get ready for race season and stuff like that. So I've been to two racing test and tune races this month, and Jasmine has been to one. So I figured I'd get on here and do a recap of what went down with us at the track on March the 5th, and a recap of what went down with me on March 19th, which was this past Sunday. So, but before we get into that, just want to say I hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody is had good days, good weeks, good months, and having a good start to a new year. So I just wanted to basically get into when we went to the track on March the 5th. So as everybody knows, I've done some upgrades to Jasmine's car. Excuse me. We upgraded the suspension, front and rear, to keep the car from squatting, because it was squatting to the point where it was bouncing in the back and it was unloading the front tires, causing the car to spin. So when I removed the old stock suspension, it was so far wore out, it wasn't even funny. So the new suspension setup is working a whole lot better. The car only squats down maybe an inch, if that, maybe a half an inch. It's really, really working well. And I'm very, very proud of the way it's performing. And I actually had pictures of basically the whole process of what I did and how I did it and stuff like that. So, and I actually got YouTube videos on it as well. So, be sure to check those out. So, wanted to get into it. So we went down to MIR, Maryland International Raceway, on March the 5th, and they had that was their opening season test and tune event. So we decided to take Donatello and Slushbox down there, and definitely wanted to see how Slushbox did with the suspension upgrade and as well as the accumulator modification. So we took it down there, and Jasmine's first pass, the car broke traction pretty bad. And then it had some shifting issues. Second pass go round, same thing. Well, it didn't break traction, but it did have some shifting issues. Then we actually raced. We actually raced, and I gave Jasmine way too much. When I say way too much, I gave her way too much of a head start. So I was initially going to give her the hit with space. And when I gave her the hit with space, the car left better than it had the last two passes. So the car shot out of the hole, and it threw me off guard. So I had to be on my P's and Q's, and I just had to drive, man. I had to drive. I was blasting through the gears, and, I started reeling her in slowly, but her car would not shift into third gear, which caused her car to nose over, and I went right by her. Now, I will tell you, I'm going to be truthful. If that car had shifted into third gear, I probably would have been in some big trouble. She already had whipped me to the 8th. So it was after that 8th mile, I already lost at the 8th. And I'm like, great, we ain't got that much further to go. So I got to reel her in quick. But I will say, if her car had shifted into third gear, I honestly do believe that it would have been neck and neck, or I would have been behind a little bit. But her car was pulling really, really good March the 5th. The new suspension setup is working great. It's just changed the whole performance of the car overall, everything. Car's no longer pushing through the brake anymore on the stall. It's got a 3,000 stall converter in it, for those that don't know. It's no longer pushing through the brake anymore, and it's working great. Donatello did well. Now I'm getting to the point where I've got to shift into fifth gear. And it's funny because when I raced her, after I passed her, I thought I was already at the 1320. And come to find out, I was in fourth gear, and it was like right at the point where I was getting ready to hit the rev limiter. And I was going to go to fifth gear, but I just popped it out of gear into neutral, just let the car coast, and realized I'm like 6 feet away from the daggone 1320. So I'm like, great. That probably would have been an 11-second pass. But overall, we had a good time. Jasmine's car is having issues shifting in the third gear. It's going first to second. Then when it shifts to third, it revs up like it's in neutral. And then it's going back to second gear, and it's hanging in second gear all the way to the rev limiter. So I got to figure that out. I've already checked the accumulators. They were okay. Everything was fine. No springs were broken. Nothing was hung up. So I'm gonna pull the transpan off and check the solenoids, make sure nothing's came loose or nothing's causing issues, no broke wires, nothing like that. I've actually checked the solenoids. I applied power to them, and they are clicking. So I have to, if I can't see anything in the pans, I'm gonna have to go a little bit deeper. So, but before I do that, I'm gonna check the pressure on it and see where the pressure goes after it shifts into third gear. So that covers March 5th. Like I said, our race was pretty cool, pretty epic. I cannot say I remember ever seeing two Ford Escorts racing side by side on the racetrack. I can't remember. I can't say there has been. It may have been, but I don't ever remember it, and I never seen any videos. So everybody's always been poking at us to race each other, and I just wanted to make sure her car was up to par, and it was a fair race. So it was more than a fair race. I just gave up too much at the start. So, but next time, once I get her car right, and we're gonna race heads up this time, it won't be me giving her anything. So, but other than that, man, I think it was a pretty cool race. I mean, two Escorts going down the track at the same time, both turbocharged, one automatic, one 5-speed. I think it was pretty cool. So, and pretty cool, and also gave gave people something to watch, and it was pretty cool, I think. So, but last time I recall seeing two Escorts side by side racing was on the streets of Florida. And one of the guys, his name was Adam Elliott, and it was Adam Elliott and Paul Atkins, and I used to watch them on YouTube all the time, and watch them race on the streets, in Florida and stuff like that. And I'm gonna tell you, man, like, that's actually what drove me to turbocharge my Escort. At the time, I had a 1.9 liter. But, now I still have the 1.9, which I'm still in the process of building and getting ready to race this year. I haven't raced it in 3 years. But, and then, of course, I went to the 1.8 and then turbo that. And, I mean, yeah, it's been it's stuck ever since. So, big thanks to Adam Elliott and Paul Atkins for motivating me to do this. Even though you guys, I know Adam isn't doing it anymore with the Escort, and I think Paul Atkins still owns his, but I think he went rear-wheel drive. So, but those guys were pretty cool back then to watch race, up and down the road and stuff like that. So, and being on YouTube and everything, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, so that should wrap up for the recap of March 5th on the Test and Tune event between me and Jasmine, Slushbox, and Donatello. So March 19th, which was this past Sunday, I went by myself with some friends and stuff. And the weather was pretty cold, man. It was about 41 degrees out. And I'm like, man, one thing I was like, I hope the track is going to be there today. And I hope they ain't running 8th mile. So, but they didn't end up running 8th mile. They ran quarter, which was nice. So we got quarter-mile passes. So I was shooting for an 11 Sunday, and I was crossing my fingers. I was like, man, I should be able to get this 11-second pass. Well, first pass out, I made a run. And, like I said, I always have been able to run the whole entire quarter out, back half, like I could end the quarter out in the top of fourth gear. Well, that changed Sunday, probably because of the weather and the car was pulling a lot harder. So what happened was I made a run, and yeah, what happened was, that's never a good ending to that. When people say, well, what happened was, but no. So what ended up happening was I made a run, and I got to fourth gear, and I just held it. And the car just started bouncing off the rev limiter. I was like, what the heck? I was like, I've never had to shift into fifth gear ever in this car in the 2 years I've been racing it. So I was like, okay, so let's try the next pass and see what happens. So that one pass I made with the car bouncing off the rev limiter was like a 12:30. So I go back around, and I was up against probably like a mid-80s Corvette. It had some slicks on the back and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this ought to be a pretty cool race. And it's cool. It's cool and it's crazy at the same time. So I run my best times against muscle cars. All the cars with V8s, I run my best times against those cars for some reason. I don't know. But so, I did a burnout. He did a burnout. So I come up on the tree, and I rolled in too deep. And I thought I was good, but I wasn't. I ended up cutting the red on, when I left on the third yellow bulb, as I always do, and it turned it red, but it was test and tune, so it wasn't no real big deal. But so I ended up coming away from the tree and ended up going through the whole entire gearbox on the run. So I was about 5 or 6 feet from the 1320 mark, and I had to go to fifth gear, and I was in fifth gear for a little bit, for a few seconds at least. And the car ended up running 1180 at 119 with like a 1.9 60 foot, I believe it was. So I was very impressed with that run. Very, very, very impressed with that run. I was screaming so loud to the top of my lungs when I got that time slip, man. I just lost my voice Sunday for a little while. I had to calm back down, but I was so excited, man. It was just such a great feeling. If any of you that drag race or know about drag racing and actually are in this, and you build a car and you're chasing a number and you get that number, it's a great feeling, man. It's like, I've been chasing this 11 since I went a 12 flat back in 2021, and I've been back and forth. What else can I do to the car to get it to go? And just, I was like, I don't want to turn the boost up yet. I want to run it on this tune because, of course, my tuner, Matt Russell, he was like, I don't think we got enough power for 11s, but we did. So it was super exciting, man. It was just super, super exciting. So it was just great. But so after I calmed down, let the car cool off and stuff and relax for a minute, I went back around again. And my third pass, I ran a 12 flat, 1208 at 122. One of the track officials was bringing me up, and when he brought me up, he didn't roll me past the water. He set me in the water. So I ended up doing like this John Force, like 10-minute burnout because my damn tires were so wet from sitting in the water. So I was like, great. So when I actually left to launch the car, it spun. So yeah, I lost a little bit of time there. But my last and final pass. So I told myself, I was like, I ran 1180 and I want to try to back it up. I want to try to back the 11-second pass up. So I went around again, and the other track official was there this time and put me in the right spot. And car hooked up, left good. Of course, a deep stage again, turn the red on again, of course. Both my 11-second passes have a red light on them. But it's okay because it's not like the clock is starting before I move anyway. So your time doesn't start until you roll away from the beam. So regardless if you sit there until light turns green or you accidentally turn the red on leaving too early or whatever. So your time doesn't start until you leave the tree. So that pass, I actually ran against a dragster, and I ran 1185 at 119 on that pass. So I was like, cool. I think the 60 foot that time was like also a 19. So I was super happy about that. I backed the pass up with a 1185 after I ran 1180. So I was like, cool. You know, 2 solid 11-second passes. I was like really happy. So needless to say, Sunday I ended up leaving the track early. I usually stay until it gets, you know, until the sun starts going down, getting a little cooler, so I can get some good time in. But man, it was cool. It was cool all day long, and I didn't have to do that, thank God. So I ended up leaving early, man. We ended up leaving early and going out to eat and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. So, so yeah, I figured I wanted to get on and let you guys know what was going on because, of course, we started racing season back up for 2023 again, and it looks like we broke the ice with personal best on Donatello's end, but Slushbox has some issues, so we're going to work those out. Her time to beat right now is 12.99. She's been a 12.99 at 105. So we're going to try to get some low 12s out of the car once I figure out what's going on with the training. So hopefully we get that stuff squared away. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pull the transmission back out again. But it's part of racing. This transmission is performing like it's not even supposed to. So this trans was never made to do this, but it's okay. It's surviving. This is the 3rd year on it, you know, running it like this. So, but so it just feels good because that car was a big success. It was a lot of people were saying that it won't gonna work out. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen, and you know the car has been performing great and has succeeded and gotten faster. So you know can't complain with that at all. You know so. So I just figured I'd get on here and let you guys know about, you know, the our track stats and stuff like that and what was going on. I'll probably be making a few changes to Donatello. Not too much, a whole lot. It's running good, so I'm just gonna leave it. I'll probably end up turning the boost up a little bit, you know, to try to reach my initial goal. So my initial goal is 1099, 1080 ish. So I got about 9/10 of a second to knock off. So I'm gonna work towards that, and you know once I get that 1080, 1090, whatever it may be on this stock engine, then I'm gonna back it back down, and you know I've reached my goal. So I'm gonna back it back down and probably start on some other projects that I got brewing up. So but Slushbox's ending goal is 12.0, 11.9. If we can get it to run that with this transmission without having to go too crazy, but we're gonna get as much as we can out of this trans and this setup. So might have to go with a little bit bigger turbocharger because I think this one is about at its last limits as far as air. So glad I was able to get on here and had time to get on and talk to you guys a little bit about what was going on with Slushbox and Donatello for their first year, for their first time back out for the new year on the race season. So hope everyone enjoyed this video, and wanted to also say that if no one knows, I also have a red Escort LX, and that's Raphael. So that's been at my buddy's shop for here quite a little while. We were trying to get an ECU to work, but it did not quite work out the way we thought. So I'm actually going to be going with a Stinger Performance ECU and some 2200cc injector from Stinger Performance as well. That car will be going E85. I've got a fuel pump. I've got the 10 micron filter. So all we need really now is the ECU and the injectors. So hopefully we can get that car back up and going soon. I'd like to make some passes in that. I don't know what the goal for that is going to be quite yet. So I guess I'm just going to go as far as I can with the setup that I have. I recently, well, right before I went to my buddy's shop, I recently updated all the charge pipes and everything. So, that way the air will flow better and it'll perform a lot better. So, but, so I just want to say, thanks everyone for watching, and I really appreciate the love and the support. Please like, subscribe. You can where I'm on 4 sources of social media. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Instagram name is EOTT Racing Team, and my YouTube channel as well as EOTT Racing Team. So yeah, you guys can follow me and like, subscribe, and like I said, I'm all over social media. I'm always posting stuff. I hope everybody has had a wonderful day, and I was glad to get, like I said, I was glad to get on here and give everyone a recap of what happened at the racetrack with us racing. So I have some videos that I'll be posting up of me this past Sunday, the 19th. So I got some videos I'll be posting up. I think I got 2 videos. I got an in car and I got an out car of the 1180 pass. So I will be uploading those as well as this one. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening and a wonderful day at work tomorrow, and have a wonderful rest of the week. And I will post more videos as they come along. So like I said, thanks everybody for the support. Please like and subscribe, and really appreciate each and every one of you. So hope everyone has a wonderful evening and a wonderful night. So thanks guys. God bless everyone.